Right,
thanks for playing along, guys.
That's impressive.
Next up, we've got a short tour from Steve Canfield, who offered at late notice to give us a short tour of his puzzle library. So hopefully Steve's still awake. I know he's on, but he's on mute and he's got his camera turned off. All right, camera's come back on again. This is a good sign. Steve is at least listening, if not talking yet, because he's still on mute.
Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you perfectly.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And can you see, are you looking at me now? I'm going to try to flip the screen. I just switched to my phone for this.
At the moment, we're seeing a blank screen. I'm seeing a blank screen.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you're coming here.
Got you, yeah.
We ought to. Can I flip the screen on Zoom? Does anybody know that? Yeah. Here we go. Okay. All right. So this is what's called the warm-up act, right? I mean, I've got nothing on any of you, I'm sure, but I was asked to do this, and I'm happy to do this. And certainly, this is like going to see Roxanne's closet or something. Okay.
Another show.
All right. So this is it's all I've got is a lovely little library, and it used to have a lot of books, but that's changed. I get this nice view. We do have a beautiful little koi pond out here and a pool. It's nice to have a pool in Houston where it's hot as hell. Okay, but anyway, here's my collection. We've got a lot of karakuris, and they're divided by shelves by artists. This is a Kawashima shelf. Coming down, we can see some kameis and a mixture of kame and Ninomiya here. This is like the heavy metal shelf. This shelf is going to break one of these days. We've got some lovely locks. We've got Shane represented here quite nicely, and Will, etc. You know, I'm friends with Kathleen Malcolmson and Robert Sandfield, who live in Houston, and I have a nice sampling of some of their things. And then down here, just an assortment of things. Oh, and by the way, as you guys know, I like boxes. So most of this is all puzzle boxes. This is mostly from Kelly Snake here, and something from Tracy. A couple things from here. I saw Johan on the call earlier. This is one of his wish cubes over here. I don't know if any of you guys have seen these guys from France, NKD Puzzle, but they make the coolest things. This is their Mechanigma cube. It's a lot of fun. Let's see, coming up here, we've got some more NK puzzles. This is a Gates of Time, it's called, from Kelly Snake. The back of this is pretty neat. I'm afraid to do it with one hand to flip it around, but it's all full of cogs and gears spilling out the back of the clock. It's part of the puzzle is to change the time to 5 o'clock, which is happy hour. Here we've got Miyamoto's, some Iwaharas. Let's see, we've got Tajima. Anybody know what happened to Tajima? He seems to have fallen off the map lately. Here's just an assortment of things. Oka, almost complete set of Oka there. This is the fuller shelf. Every so often it gets a little fuller. That's groans. Anybody groans?
Oh.
Yeah.
Have you seen the new lock box from him? It's really brilliant. I really enjoyed it. I think it's fun. Let's see. Coming around here, we've got some knickknacks, lots of Osanori puzzles. You know, there's so many of them that I got to keep them in the boxes or I'll get confused to which one's which. Here's something fun. This is my first puzzle ever from when I was a boy. And
I've seen one.
I've even had to relegate some of the little things to bins now, etc., and can't display everything. You know, also another Texan, Perry McDaniel. Love his things. I've got a nice set of the creative secret boxes from Karakuri and a couple of brass things here. Here's Mike's box. This thing is a beast. I'm not going to open it because it'll give it away a little bit. But this is the Flatliner. It's called. it's the most devilish packing puzzle you'll ever see. I've got some of these. Now I'm blanking on the name. You guys know the artist. He makes mostly plain-looking boxes, but he used to paint them. They're very pretty, the old painted ones. This is a really nice collection of John Berkeley I've got here, including some of the miniatures. You can see there. And then just above that, we've got our modern day Turner, Stephen Chinney here. Got a little celestial shelf, things from outer space.
Little picture. Who is it? The biggest puzzle is the picture. The picture is the biggest puzzle.
The picture, yeah. You'll see a lot of pictures here.
It's Mike speaking.
Here's Mike again. You got a fairy door up here for you. And then up here, we've got a nice selection of Randall Gatewood, who I really like, another Texan no longer with us. Top shelf, Allard will recognize some of these. Nice collection of stickmen. I'm still missing two, the Grandfather and the Beast. So if anybody knows where I could get a copy of either one of those, I would be indebted to you. And I know Allard was able to complete his collection recently. Let's see, some more little knickknacks way down here. And I've got my menagerie of kakutas over here. Little things peeking out under the shelves here. I don't know if you can see any of those.
Mm-hmm.
This is Thomas Cummings. He's an American guy who makes these kind of rustic looking cube boxes. Each one has a different type of puzzle on the top that you have to solve to open. And then a modest little representation of Kagan over here. A couple of nice waterfall boxes. I think we're all about to get our third Lotus series box coming soon, I think. That'll be fun.
If we're lucky, who knows?
Let's see. Oh, up here, this is pretty neat. This is called the Dragos box. It's Kelly Snake. It's like a dragon-themed adventure. It's got 91 moves to open it, and tons of little things, drawers, and codes to crack. It's really quite fun. And then in the top here is the end game. You can get into there in the end to find the treasure. Some boxes that Tracy Clemens made me. Here's a bunch of Jesse Bourne puzzles, Kashos. Nice collection of those here. Juno puzzles. And we're coming to the end of the tour here. Some more Karakuris. We've got some Nicholas Phillips is an American furniture maker, and he makes pretty cool puzzle boxes and his own Yosegi. He's probably the best American Yosegi master. This one's called the Turing chest he made. It's all full of secret keys and locks that you have to find. Pretty well hidden. You can push it in. It's not releasing right now, but there's keys that are hidden in the drawers that open other drawers. This box right here is actually a puzzle box itself. So you pull the whole drawer out and solve a puzzle box, which has a really novel mechanism that I haven't ever seen before to get to the final key. We've got some Mr. Puzzle represented up here, sadly missing a koala one day maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. That's it. And then you can enjoy the view as you puzzle. So thanks for joining me in my little library, guys. Hope to welcome you into my house one day.
Steve, could you give me some details on Flatliner?
Do you have that one? Is that what you're asking
No.
about?
Who made it?
This is Mike DeLuz's. This is his what he calls his deluxe Flatliner. I guess he made a fancy little chest for it, and and it's got a magnet lid on the side that you can nicely let the lid just sit there while you puzzle away. It's got these irregular offset pieces that I'm afraid to take out because I solved it once in my life. Somebody helpfully took all the pieces out when I wasn't looking once, and I could never get it back together again. And I had to find a photograph of just the top pieces I discovered on the internet, and I was able to piece it back together from just that photograph. It's devilishly difficult.
The offsets make it horribly hard, yeah. Thanks very much, Steve. That was brilliant.
Oh, wait, well, hold on, one more.
Oh,
So here's where the boxes and booze happen. Oh, and speaking of that, here, might as well give you that part of the tour. So this is the cabinet of wonder here. So there's a nice little detail right here is a custom cabinet puzzle lock made by Shane Hales. And then inside is, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little device there. It's a radio frequency lock that you need to use a card on to open it. And of course it's broken now, so I can't get into the half of my cabinet here. and I had to pick the locks on the inside using like a wire so I can get into this half, but you can see half of the cabinet here. But it's much too early here, folks. All right, back to you, Allard.
Thanks very much, Steve. I always enjoy seeing around other people's collections, so thanks so much for taking the time to show us around, and for showing us what happens behind the scenes on the blog as well. That was brilliant, thanks.
Yes. Steve, what is your favorite box, if you're only allowed to take one?
My favorite box is really hard to say. Currently, I probably would grab my clutch box because I became friendly with Lee Krasnow over the last few years, and he made one for me. So that was a long wait. It's a pretty little box, and I think I could probably grab it in a hurry.
Right.
How about you?
I think the dodecahedron box.
Oh, that's nice.
Remains my favorite, I think, or one of my favorites. I know it's very hard to say, isn't it? It's a sort of trick question, really.
Anybody else want to ask any questions of Steve while we've got him on before he falls asleep?
Steve, do you do something special to keep the air conditioning of the humidity right in your room so close to the pool?
Oh, it's a good question. Yeah, I mean, the room is nicely sealed off, and there's some of the best air conditioning in the house is pumped it right into that room because it's on one of the main leads from the unit.
You know, it's interesting. Steve's got the opposite problem I have. So I'm at over 7,000 feet here in Santa Fe, New Mexico. Right now, the humidity outside is about 10%. And so this room is all humidity controlled. And this is a humidistat right here, and it's set at 45. And so I have a built-in humidifier that, you know, I have to keep it running all the time, basically, because it's never wet here.
Yeah. Let's trade a little bit.
Wouldn't it be nice to meet in the middle?
What is your humidity normally?
So I'm in Houston, Texas, and sometimes it's near 100% humidity here, maybe 80% on average. It's kind of like Japan here.
And Israel in the summer.
Yeah, Michigan gets a lot worse because Michigan in the summer will be much the same as Texas, so we'll be 80 to 100%. And then in the winter, we do the complete flip-flop and we get down to, 0 to 3% humidity. So I've got dehumidifiers running in the summer to suck all the humidity out in my puzzle room, and then I have humidifiers running in the winter to put all the moisture back in. So I have both problems.
Well, the solution is just get rid of all your wood puzzles, eh? Just keep metal ones and stuff.
Well, that does eliminate a lot of puzzles. That gets me down to about 2 shelves.
So sorry.
Those rust.
So sorry.
It's just given all the time.
Oh, excellent. Okay, in that case, thanks very much, Steve. I think at this point we'll hand over to George and Rox, who've agreed to give us a tour of the Puzzle Palace on the one hand and George's workshops on the other. And along the way, hopefully we'll be talking about 3D printing through the ages. Over to you guys.
Okay, we're going to wait because George has got to figure out how to turn his telephone on.
Ah. We can
I think
see one of you.
He's working on it right now. No.
Is it the SMS box that he's trying to turn on?
Okay, I got it. This is George.
Okay.
Okay. I'm still working.
George is slow.
He was there. Right, we've got George.
Okay. Did you?
No,
can
George.
you see? Can you see anything there? I'd like to make this. This is the Puzzle Palace. This is our house that we bought. It's a very large house because we have a very large collection. We're concentration mostly on the house rather than the puzzles for this, and because you guys are better at puzzles. I would like to have this interactive, and as I move around, I'd like you to tell me which way you want to turn, and so you'll be actually guiding us through this. We're under construction now, as you can see, in our garage. The workmen are here already. And when I pause like this, you tell me whether to go forward or to turn left or to turn right. Anybody?
Forward.
Left, right.
I only take the
Go
first
up.
one.
Up,
We're going back.
up.
Forward.
Up. The door wants you to go up.
Out.
We'll go up. Oh, okay. Well, first of all, can anyone tell me what this refers to on our driveway?
It's a crime scene.
Yes. Okay. Now that's the dissection of the octagon, so you can turn it into a square. This right here is something called pavers. We're going to repave this whole thing, and so we're going to have this design in this part of the driveway. Okay, here we are at the front entrance of the house. I'm going to turn this over to Roxanne now at this point. She should be greeting me here at the door.
And there he is. Welcome to Puzzle Palace. Look, you got us in the stereo. Oh, no. Okay. All right. So I do this better than this, and I'm just going to start at the door. And okay, I see me. All right.
Everybody else turn their mics off.
Sorry about that. I think it's George in the
Especially
background.
George.
Yeah, George, go away. I'm trying. Okay, so when you first come in the door, on either side, we had these mirror niches, and George used UV epoxy when we had the shelves made. You have to pardon the dust. As you can see, we are under construction, so everything is dusty here right now. But he put the shelves up using a UV epoxy glue, and it's a perfect place to hold these smaller barricol pieces. And then when you turn to the other side, there are a few more in here. So these are the little ones when you come in the front door. And it's really funny because when people come in, they don't see those. They just blank over them. So which way do you want me to turn? We can go to the right. We can go kind of catty corner. We can go up. We can go to the left.
I thought you never go to the right in the Puzzle Palace.
Never go to the right in the Puzzle Palace. Extreme left. There we go. Is that what you like? Okay. So the first room we have here is
We're
our
going
game
sideways now.
Yes, we are. It's a left turn. A left. His phone is talking to him. Okay. So what we have in this room is all these little tiny Rubik's cubes, and I don't know what those things are, mazes that I got in Japan a couple of years back, things that came with beer. all those Hanayama little puzzles. And here you can see some sliding tile puzzles. These are all very tiny. And, you know, nobody ever plays with them, but we have them. So what we decided to do was to display them in jewelry boxes that you see in jewelry stores. And we've also got all these coin puzzles. We bought these at the last IPP. Here's some of George's circus toys, or toys from Japan, I guess. More of these boxes. We've got some of Oscar's swirly things in there, and the coin puzzles, again, are over here on top of these. On this table, the tables in this room, by the way. Sorry, huh? Oh, okay. The tables in the room were made for the room, and they're maple and walnut. We liked, the house has got oak in it. I don't know why we chose these, but these two colors were good. And this table, with the exception of that card sorter over there, are all puzzles related to chess in some way. And you can see this is the first prototype of the Hanayama chess set. And this is one that we got from the IPP that year. And we decided to do a complete chess set. Unfortunately, by the time we decided to order them, we couldn't get all of the gold pawns. So we bought a bunch of silver pawns, and we took it down to a plater and had them gold plated so that they matched the set. And then, of course, when the black set came out, we had to get that too. And then we have more, there's some origami and other little doohickeys. All of this over here is jewelry. I think I'm missing 4 of the, what's his name? Vardon's rings, the puzzle ring maker. But he's got them on the way now. And there's some wooden ones, pieces that other people have made for me, and some silver and gold, and more, a couple pieces from IPP in there. And that's mostly Oscar's rings done from Shapeways. We've got a bunch of origami from Marty, and I think a couple of cards from Lewis in here. Over here, we've got all those dexterity puzzles that are in here. And then up there are the pussy puzzles. And then when you come into the bathroom, there are even games and puzzles that you can play in this bathroom. This is the game room. So this Tokyo Tower is a children's game that I picked up. Here in the closet are the board games. So we do have some of those in here as well, and his juggling clubs. George was a clown in the circus, so there's a lot of that in the house as well. Okay, now which way? Nobody wants to talk. Okay, I'm just going to give you the tour. I give everybody else.
Go left.
Sorry?
Left again.
Go left again. Okay. All right, left again. As we're going left, we come around, and this is the puzzle pit. And then again, there were niches in here, so we decided that we'll go into that room in a second. This would be the perfect place to put the barracles. There's a lot of light coming off of it. And when we come into here, you can see there's the rest of the collection. This shelving unit was built in here already when we bought the house. And it's made for a television set. And this is a funny story. That big golf chest that we bought was supposed to fit in this niche. And when I sent the dimensions to him, I had it backwards. So the chest will fit in here, but it fits in here on its side. So it didn't make it to this position. You know, that was Roxanne's fault, but it works okay where we've mounted it. And then there are some other side things here. So we've got a couple of them on the side here. And because I'm in the puzzle pit, I'll show you another thing here. So the table, the column goes around the side, and these are barracles. I'm envious of James because he's good at pieces I don't. And he won't sell them to me. He's being mean. And my Goliath, as you can see, is very but I haven't had the time to polish them because I've been working on cataloging the puzzles in the house.
Do
And
not polish them.
no?
No, let them grow a nice patina over the years.
Yeah. I kind of like the way they are starting to look. I got, when we got, what is it, La Menina, it was very, very bright and brassy, but you can see just from being here, it's changing. And I think we've had her in the house for about 4 months. In the puzzle pit as well, we've got the Hanayama table. And in here, we have all of, bar the chess set, we've got all of the pieces that Hanayama has made.
In metal, you mean?
In metal, yeah, in metal. We don't have all of their wood ones. I think I've got about 5 or 6 of them, but not the entire collection. And we do have a number of their games, but some of them are just, it doesn't appeal. This table, again, was also custom made. We wanted it to fit the house, and the house has a theme of 3. And so this has got three edges on the molding. And it's also, every room in the house is an octagon. So George designed this table. It's held together with magnets on the side, and each of the pieces, as you can see, flip down, and they can be used as a small table to hold the pieces, and it gives you access to it, but it also has it closed up. So, you know, when little kids come in the house, they don't realize that they can get to them, and they just leave it alone, which is a plus because everything in this house is accessible. We're going to, I'm going to show you one. Allard asked me to talk about my most recent purchase. My most recent big purchase was this one. And it's another barricall. It's made out of resin. And unfortunately, I got it off of eBay, buyer beware, right? There are 160 of them made, 150 of them made. This is piece number 66. But after talking to the barricalls, I realized there were only like 4 of these made. And the problem with this one is, you want to hold the camera for me? Sure. When I got it, what I realized is, come on over here. This piece was absolutely broken. So here it's been chipped out and re-glued. This leg has been broken off and re-glued. The head, the neck of the guitar was broken and somebody re-glued it. And so George, he came and helped me rescue it, and he put pins in it. And thankfully, where the breaks are, you can't see it with the naked eye. So we were able to save that piece in some way. I'm not going to turn left because that's George's mess, and I'll let him talk to you about that. I'll just give you the rest of the house before I hand it over to him. In our bedroom, we also have puzzles. And if we come here, these are the crystal puzzles. You could help me open the doors. Okay. So I put these all together in the last, hey Siri, please turn crystal white. Okay. I put these together in the last since the quarantine started, since February. So I've just been working to get them finished. There are 328 different puzzles in here. So it was a lot of work, a lot of time, but a lot of fun. And these are our naughty puzzles. We've got different ones. I like the one from William Waite. I had to add a condom to it. And then you can see, we finally got a bed. Isn't that exciting? 2 years later, we got a bed. George has just received a couple of puzzles from Tom Lynch, and he was working on them, and an IPP puzzle that fell apart. And then also in here, you can see he's got some prototypes that he's been working on. And we have more of the crystal puzzles over here along the window. And we've got, I don't know, these fuzzy cube things. We even have a puzzle in the main bathroom. This is made out of foam. and it's kind of like a three-dimensional jigsaw. And anyway, it belongs in the bathroom. And look, there's my order of the hamster, just right above the commode. Okay, sorry, I'm spinning. So now we're gonna walk back to, I don't know if, I'm taking photographs of this, but, and try to put it on Facebook. When we bought the house, we knew it had the fireplaces in here, and we were laying in bed one day and we discovered that we actually have a giant penis in the middle of our bedroom. So we added a couple of big balls to it. All right, so I'm going to take you around and we will go to the bar. So the bar has puzzles on it as well, which makes sense. I've got piggy banks here because we're asking people for tips, but we also have lots of puzzles that are related to alcohol or drinking, or in this case, these are coasters. The beer caps are rebus puzzles. And you'll notice a couple of the Toyo glass, and there's where our hamster lives. And we've got this here. Oh, turn the fountain on down. I'm curious, George is in the fountain in here, and some more coaster puzzles that we picked up. And then as we come around, you'll see that this is kind of my staging area. These are Pavel's puzzles. He sent me some. When new puzzles come in the house, they come to the bar so that I can catalog them. And they don't leave the bar until they're cataloged with a number written on them and put in place. Okay. Oh, he doesn't want to turn on the fountain. What?
Don't turn on. They must turn the electricity
off. Oh, we've got workmen here. All right, so here we've got, this is the water fountain. And these are all sea creatures that are also puzzles as well. That's strange. See, we just discovered something broken. We've got workmen in the house. In the root room, the furniture, we had it shipped over from Thailand. And can anybody tell me what this is? What it's made of? Any idea?
Plastic.
No, it's not. It's very not plastic. These are the roots of teak trees. And it's really, it's not a puzzle, but it is, and how they're made, because they're actually just one solid piece. They're not glued together. They're not tacked together. They're just carved and made the way they are. We've got a number of different, I don't know what the things are called, the Russian dolls. And then we've got a couple of puzzles in here that are just big and they have nowhere else to go. They can't be cataloged. Puzzles that need assembly and puzzles that need repair. And then all the books for the barnacles. This is our treasure chest. So anyone that comes to Puzzle Palace is offered a puzzle as they leave. So we've got it here.
Οι κούκλες που μπαίνουν η μία μέσα στην άλλη, οι ρώσικες. Μπαμπούσκα.
So you dig through it, and babushkas. Thank you. And, yeah, and figure out what you want. These puzzles here are related to golf, because we both play golf. We've got more golf puzzles over here. This golfer is an automaton, and I picked it up somewhere in California and put it together. And then, yeah, they must have turned the power off because the table's not working either. A Buddhist prayer table set that we picked up over there, and it works rather nicely. This is our Rick Irby collection. So, you know, if you guys have any you want to get rid of, let me know. And we have a couple of Sisyphus tables in here. Unfortunately, they're not working because the power's off. We don't know why. This is also a teak table under here, but this is all artwork by Barakal. This is the only art that we have in the house, are pieces. And of course, we have George. But the only artwork we have in the house are Baracol pieces, and this folder is filled with it. And then we come into my office, and you have to pardon the mess. All the paperwork and the bills get paid here. This room is filled with wooden puzzles, and it's the only room you'll see artwork on the walls, and it's my office. Nobody comes in here. So we've got basically over here snakes and cheap puzzles that are very inexpensive, and some wooden puzzles that George has made, and then more of the Baracol prints. And that was a bear to put together. Absolute bear. I'll never do it again. It's stuck with rubber bands, and if they come apart, they come apart. Here we have some miniature puzzles. Again, I don't want this set down here is from Stephen Chin. I don't want people playing with them because it's really hard to put them back together again, so I put them up. Top shelf I've made myself. And then we come into the more expensive puzzles, and George can probably tell you more about these than I can. I don't know anything about him. They're his. Okay. Okay. And I don't even know what kind of order they're in or anything like that, because I don't know anything about it. Down here, that is George's first wooden burr puzzle kit. He made it when he was, hello? About 16 or 17 years old. And then this is the one that's been going around, the 3D printed version, and a couple of other burr puzzle sets down there. The hexadecimal puzzle in the back is the one made by, what's his name? Creative Craft House, David something. And then we can move up. Tracy made the monkey box for George before it was a gift I gave him about 2 years before we got together. And you can see a couple of other ones. He's pointing something out for me here.
This is the original prototype for the Radic puzzle.
So that was given to him. And then I believe these are like stars, and I don't know. I really don't know. The top shelf, hopefully that light doesn't interfere, is all 6-piece burr puzzles, but each one is different in some way. And then we come over here, and we've got some Japanese puzzles here. We've had my daughter writing the numbers on them so they're not in the best of order. And we go down to the cigar box set. And here we've got a bunch of matchbox puzzles. I've got to do something with that. That's a disaster. And a number of other pieces of wood. This is, you might know, was destroyed by the Postal Service, and unfortunately Robert can't fix it. These are the Karakuri Christmas puzzles that I've gotten over the years. I have no idea what this stuff is. It's George's stuff. Here's some boxes. I think he got those all in. You recognize that one is a Kelly Snake, and Robert did a conjoined T-box thing. There's no light on this side, so this is hard to see. That is a I don't know. It's like 100 hex cubes. It's like 100 pieces in there, so it doesn't move.
166 pieces.
Okay, the Soma. So we've got Tetra 4-piece and 5-piece puzzles, and it says, I don't know. I can't read it. I don't have my glasses on. I'm being vain today. So that's George's, and I think it's the same thing that yours is, but he doesn't have a box for it. Yeah, boxes we throw away. I started throwing boxes away in Hong Kong because of the humidity, and here we don't have an issue with that. And then here you can see more other puzzles coming around. Our house system keeps the humidity at about 55% about 55%. Some rooms go up to 50, go down to 53, and the highest is 56, but that's in our gym, so it doesn't really matter. And then the top shelf is just mostly cheap boxes from China that we've gotten. A couple of boxes that we picked up on our travels. And these, you might recognize some of those in there. We're fortunate enough to receive a gift of some. And here are the Japanese kamuki puzzles. Is that the right way to say it? And a couple of them that I put together myself. The ones on the bottom I got in Cambodia. I went to a children's center, and they were making them, and I felt sorry for them, so I bought a lot of puzzles. And then we've got some other rather large pieces here. And of course, this is the golf chest. It's locked. And I convinced Tom Lynch to make just one more copy of that Sliduco for me, so I could give it to George for his birthday this year. So that's the wood room. And now we're going to walk around the corner to this is the void, and the void has nothing in it for that reason. We like the starkness of it. However, George was cutting he's got a mat cutter, so we brought the table in because something else is under construction. And here's our pool. It's just out the back there. So if you come, bring your suits. All right. The only other piece of art on the wall is this Rubik's Cube solution. I have saved that since 1981. I think my grandmother or grandfather gave it to me, and we decided to frame it and put it on here. So here's my Rubik's Cube collection. And these are all Meffert's puzzles here. The top is, because I ran out of room and Uwe stopped producing, the top shelf is coming from Very Puzzles and Mr. Falk at MF8. Top shelf is Very Puzzles, a Chinese company. And the rest of these on this shelf are from different companies in China. Over here on the bottom, we have MF8 puzzles, and we move up to Diane puzzles. The next two shelves near the top, second, third from the top, are puzzles from Russia and Taiwan. And the very top shelf are, if you touch this, I'll kill you because I'll never get them put back in order again puzzles. These are coming from Witteden on the top. And this row, and this row are from my friend Michael, and they're all custom made for me. None of these are mass produced. And these on the bottom are coming from Calvin Fan. Right. And then over here, we have older puzzles. These are from the early 80s, most of these. And we move up, you can see I've got some V cubes on here. And again, older puzzles. And then at the top are the Rubik's Cubes. And I've got my first one up in there. Over here, oh, look at that, hon. We've got one of those things over here. I didn't know that. Anyway, these are moving tiles and moving balls and moving pieces. As you work your way down, you get to the fidget spinners and pucks, and then we go into the diamonds on the bottom. This side is all shapes or heads and characters and stuff in here. And then we've got some big plastic puzzles at the top, the giant ones. Next, we come to my balls, and I have a lot of balls. We've got some big ones up there. And here we have more of the balls. Yes, during the quarantine, I've learned how to sew. No, I'm not joining the soaps. These are very different shapes. They come from China, so they're put over here. And here we've moved into soda cans and stuff. And down there are the annual Tangles from the Hong Kong Toy Fair. Here, these are more custom puzzles. They were, some of them were purchased. Many of them were gifts from the people that designed them. And this is George's favorite. It's a 1 by 5 by 5. And it works. And he loves that one. This is my mess. When I start working on puzzles, I'm putting the crystal puzzles together, or as you can see, this is what happens when you send puzzles through the mail. So this area is for me to, it's a big table, nice room, I can spread out and put the puzzles together. But this will go away soon because I'm getting a workshop of my own. We're walking into the kitchen. This is those unique puzzles or whatever, the ones from Czechoslovakia that you put together. Everything that is in the kitchen is a puzzle. So all of these are from Very Puzzles. Here we've got some puzzle cups. George went to a puzzle party in Nevada. That's a real plate. It's not a puzzle. Those up there, I don't know if you can see those. I'm not very tall. These are more puzzles. Over here on the kitchen side and on the other cabinets, again, puzzles. The Rebus plates will be going up on the wall. I just haven't gotten them done yet. More. And here we have fruit and vegetables. And this is a real coconut. These are real apples, but these are puzzle apples, and that's a puzzle coconut. And if we come over here, we've got it's a balance puzzle, but I can't get it to balance. And Tony Fisher has just made a Rubik's Cube out of an ostrich egg, so it fit. I had to get it. When we come in to the breakfast room, here we've got more of these plate-like puzzles in here. And I had some shelving put up in here so that I could display puzzles that are related to food. And I don't know if I can zoom in on that. Oh. No. Okay. So anyway, sorry. These are all puzzles that are in some way related to food. These are the Hanayama chocolate bars. I know James was saying there were other puzzles that they made. There's a Will Stribos that was done by Hanayama over there. The eggs over here are a recent purchase from Etsy. There's a new company making them. And then we go into old lifesavers and more eggs from God knows where. And then up on the top shelf, we've got our collection of Toyo glass puzzles. We've got some bottles, and those are also puzzles over there as well. They're more like puzzle games. My next project is this puzzle. I know, it's a jigsaw, but it's big. It's 42,000 pieces, and I bought it on a whim when we were in Spain, and now we finally have a place to put it. Recently, I've been collecting these, and I just got this one off of Etsy. I couldn't resist. It was $10, but it turns out it's missing 2 pieces. So George he's managed to make the gorilla. He's still got to make the kingfisher for it. And over here, we've got big game, and then this is the Australia. Yeah, so I can't remember the name of it. And then this one I know is called Northern Star, but the 2 Australian ones are from the same person. These are children's puzzles. They're 3, 4, 5 pieces maximum. That's okay for kids to play with. And then here we've got a couple of other ones. This one I just picked up recently. Other than it being written in German, I don't know anything about it. Our travel wall. And then this is the bits and pieces version of the US puzzle. The bits and pieces version and the more expensive version from South Africa are 2 different sets of animals, which I didn't know until I got them. All right, so we're going to go upstairs. Wow. We're going to go upstairs, and as we do, Catherine calls this my S&M corner. It's turned on. It's 100%. So as we go up here, you'll see lots of very large disentanglement puzzles. And the tavern puzzles, I hunted them down, and we now have a complete collection. That's good. There's no more to buy. So, you know, I think there's like 32 puzzles in here. And this wall is dead. It's a circular staircase. So we decided to go with this. Okay, so here we come to more wire disentanglements. And we didn't know how to store these. We didn't want them laying flat. So George and I went out and we got some molding and some pegs and drilled holes and popped the pegs in and mounted them to the wall. And it's a very simple system, very inexpensive storage system, a lot cheaper than any of the other puzzle shelving units that we put into the house. We'll get back there in a minute. Here is the Rocky Churro puzzles. And here we have the infamous IPP wall, or the famous IPP wall, I don't know. The things in the boxes are tiny. While we encourage people to play with them, I really wouldn't like anybody playing with that one. So, you know, they're in there. If you really want to, go ahead. We have puzzles from IPP 10 and 11 all the way up. So what I've been doing is going through auctions and eBay and all kinds of different things, buying up older IPP puzzles because we would like to complete our collection. So if you know of anybody that wants to get rid of them, let us know. We're light from, I guess 15 we've got about half of, 16 we've got about half of, 17 mostly, 18 most of them, 19 almost complete, and then 20 onward we're complete. So each section is going from top to bottom. It's a IPP. So we've got, and the shelves are labeled. I don't know if we can see that. So there's IPP 19 from top to bottom. And what you'll notice is that there's metal puzzles lined up, and the metal puzzles, the disentanglement or metal puzzles signify the end of that particular IPP. It was the only way I could think of besides putting up a book stop or something. So in this room, we have just over a half a mile of shelving. And because we've just recently received a number of the earlier IPPs, I've redone everything. So the shelves are a little bit more full, but as I look at it, and I've got them up on display, I see that there are some places that I can kind of squeeze them in, but it doesn't matter. Here's IPP 36, and it carries on. Good morning. It carries on over here. There we end to 37, 38, 39, and I've labeled for 40. We're ready for it. We're excited. We're wanting to go. On this shelving unit over here, these shelves were already in the house, so that's why the rest of it carries on the same design. This is a company from Japan called Hatchet, and they have a, go ahead, it's okay. They have a mail order kind of puzzle of the month club, and I managed to get the entire set in one go from somebody that was selling it off. So I think this has 125 different puzzles on here. You'll notice these are all puzzles that we grew up with. We know them anyway. That one I just discovered was an IPP exchange by Jean-Claude, and I was glad to discover it because we have that as a placeholder on our IPP wall. Here's George's hermaphroditic blocks. They made those, and so anyway, lots of puzzles on there that you'll recognize. Coming around the corner here, there are mirrors everywhere in this house. You'll have to forgive me. They're doing construction in my attic, so this wall is not complete. You'll see half of the puzzles are gone because they just keep falling off the door off the wall when they slam and open and close the door. These are magic puzzles made by different people and different companies over the years. And one of the features of the house is that everything is display and play. So George is showing you that you can take it off the wall. And we're patenting, no, we're going to copyright that expression, display and play. When you come in the house and you see a puzzle you want to play with, not to take home, just grab it and you've got it. These are all, you've got access to them. These are all flat pack puzzles, and the puzzles that came off the wall in there because of the work. This is kind of neat. It actually is, it's a maze, it works, it's an exercise thingy. exercise maze, so you stand on it, wiggle it. It does hold an adult. It's not the child version. And we do have one puzzle in the gym, and that's the dumbbells that Steve, what's his name, Stefan Baumegger made. So that's the gym puzzles. We're going to come around the corner here, and we're going to go into another room upstairs. We still have one more room downstairs that I want to show you, but I'll let George do it first. This is one of the guest bedrooms. The Tetris puzzle is a mess. My daughter was sleeping in here before she went to university, and she knocked it down. This is the circular room, named so because of this wall. And everything in here is made of plastic of some sort. So there's no metal in here. There's no wood in here. It's just plastic puzzle. Oh, there is some wood in here because they don't fit anywhere else. I haven't moved them yet. And mostly, I would say most of them are what I would call junk. I got them over the years on the street in Hong Kong. Louis been to that street, and it's a junk street. And then back here, we've got some wooden puzzles because I just haven't had the time to move them. And the Perplexus puzzles. Perplexus, that's what it's called. And then a couple, again, some bird puzzles, old ones. These are elements, I believe. I think so. Oh, yeah, no. Rocks, different kinds of rocks. And George has to put those together. He hasn't done it yet. There are a couple more newer puzzles in here, and this one's come out in the last year. Oscar's toy. But most of the stuff in here, I'm not actively going out and finding new puzzles to add to this particular collection. Whereas the wooden puzzles, the metal puzzles, the Rubik's Cubes, we actively, I hunt to find new ones. You guys were playing with Soma's. There's ours. We had this made by Dilemma Games for us. When we visited them in Thailand, we decided we wanted a big Soma cube to put outside. And we've also got a very large Gordian's knot over here. Unfortunately, when it arrived, they made it out of a wood that won't take the weather in Florida, so they're inside puzzles. So Soma table, Soma cube is a table, and it's got other Soma cubes on it. The box that holds the Soma cube has Soma-like puzzles on it. They're variations on a theme. Some of them are 4 pieces, some of them are 5 pieces, some of them are games. And then down here we've got the Philos Cube collection. We've got both of those. And this one is a relatively new, it's come out within the last year, I guess. So, and George says it's a Soma-like puzzle, so it's in here. Okay. One of the workmen today. Sorry. And there is the large Gordian knot. I don't know what it's made of, but again, it won't work outside. George, what's that?
This is a large version of the Donald Knuth's Perfect Packing. I think, James, I sent you a copy of this. Is that right? Okay, not there.
I don't know. Anyway.
George, you did. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, these are the only 2 in the world, yours and mine.
It's a very nice puzzle, and it's a very nice version to have.
Well, the workmen have knocked it over quite a few times, so it's not put together properly, but that's okay. You know, it's fun, easy to work with. And then Tom Lynch has made this one out of different types of wood, and I just had him frame it for me instead of put it together as a cube. We're going through and cataloging, so here's the IPP puzzles that I have not worked out what they are. So if anybody knows the name of this one, is it an IPP exchange? It's numbers. I think that's the one we lost. We found it, and then this one. This one is from Nath, and this, God knows what that is. I have no idea. Don't know. It's an IPP. It came in a box of IPP exchanges, so we're assuming it's one. Same goes for that, and this wire puzzle. That block. You know, we're trying to figure out what these things are. So if you can
Which
figure it
one
out.
is from New Zealand?
Which one is?
The cube, the rectangle cube one. It's made by
This
a
one.
lady called Dora Burnett.
Dora Burnett.
She
Okay,
came
I'm
to
writing
the
that down.
Australian IPP. Came to the Australian IPP and was selling really big versions of them over there.
Okay, so this
Made
isn't,
out
it's not an exchange puzzle then?
No, well, she was at IPP as a guest, my guest.
Okay.
And she had really big boxes of them as well, with hundreds of pieces in them as well.
Oh my. We do have one that is an IPP exchange. It was exchanged in IPP 20 by a fellow from Japan.
That's the same lady.
It's the same lady. Oh, okay.
Dora.
Thank you. All right. I've written that down.
Yep.
Wonderful. Thank you, Louis. I appreciate that. These George needs to fix. A lot of the pieces, just over time, the glue has come undone on them. Particularly this kind of puzzle, the packing puzzle that are 2 layers on them. I think we probably repaired half of the ones that we have now. These are duplicates that we've managed to get. My Rocky Charo collection, because I was writing a blog post about it, so they're all out. And then over here, we have puzzles made by George over the years. Am I still here? Okay. And then we're going to go into, we still have to do your office.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to go into the metal room, called because, unfortunately, this room, they haven't put the lights in yet so it's very, very dark in here. All of the puzzles on this shelf are metal puzzles, and they go from commonplace everyday, the USA puzzle by Bits and Pieces. These are made by Puzzle Master. These are a bit more expensive. They're from that Czech company. Kyo made me a paperclip star. We've got some locks, and we go up. These are brass puzzles coming out of China. Those cans you can buy at, I don't know, one of those fast food joints. And then we go up to the really more heavy wood from Will Stribos. One of the locks fell yesterday and I dented the shelf. And then over on this side, we've got, see, it just doesn't work. We've got more metal puzzles over here. And then toward the top, we've got a number of different wooden puzzles. So these wooden puzzles in this room are just what I would call cheap wood. They're not expensive. You can pick them up in a dime store. Some of them I've made, and another Summer Cube. Okay.
Well, Roxanne, you've filled up this whole palace with puzzles.
I know.
Where do you buy more puzzles? Where do we put them?
Yeah, we had to come up with a solution for that, because we've got just over a mile of square footage of linear footage for shelving, but it's just not enough to expand. So if we want to keep buying puzzles, we have to make more and find more room, and that's exactly what I did. You want to go there?
Go ahead.
Okay. So in this bedroom, I was running around in the attic trying to figure out where to put lights for George, and I discovered a whole new, what I would call a room. So we knocked a hole in the wall, put a door in, and we built a room. So this is George's 3rd workshop, and everything has been insulated in here using this spray-on foam. This is probably the most comfortable attic you've ever been in. I know you see a lot of wooden boards in here and the trusses and stuff, and they're holding the roof up. That's okay. But there's actually a lot of space in here, and I can walk around without having to duck. Now this is one of the trusses that they did take out for me. In this area, we're going to have a nice long work table for George. And then in this corner, we're putting in 2 small work tables for me so I can put those puzzles together. Because of the way the trusses are, what we've decided to do is put in shelving units between the trusses. So these shelving units will go in pairs of 2, where the trusses are going across, so that you can't access them from the front, but you can access them from the sides. And this part you can see is like a doorway. It's open. There's no truss in here. I did have a couple of trusses come out, and we put in some work tables here for George. He's going to put his new print farm here. He's got, there's one, we've got 11 more printers on order. And they'll all come up here in the 3D printers because the room is now air conditioned. I had them install air conditioning back in here for us so that it keeps it nice and cool. And the air conditioning, our system has the humidifier and the dehumidifier on it together. So the humidity in this room is 55%, just like the rest of the house. As you can see, we didn't finish off all the flooring. It doesn't matter. And, you know, this is something else. It's just, that's where all the pipes go. And it's ugly, but I don't care. There's one little spot where you have to step over a board. And, but then you can go up to the steps. And this is what we call the bridge. I apologize for the lighting. It's not, it looks a little bit, it's not finished yet. They're still working on it. And we asked the workmen to go into the other attic today. But we had this space. Oh, they did do this for me. And this was just empty and, you know, it's on an angle. We couldn't do anything with it. So we had them put in another shelving unit for us. And as you can see, these are all challenge puzzles. And we've got Think Fun and we've got Binary Arts and Smart Games and, oh, I don't know what it is, Popular Playthings and other things that I've come across over the years. And if we don't have a box, they are labeled. There's the new ones coming out from Hanayama. And you can see we've still got more room. Now, yeah.
I'm going to ask Louis if he'd feel comfortable in this hallway.
You might have to
I wouldn't be able to get around there very easily.
Well, the thing is, this whole area is going to be carpeted. After they complete the work that they're doing in here and finish the painting, then we're going to have the carpet layers come in and do it. So it'll be much more comfortable. I want to go back downstairs. Yeah, this bridge carries on. Oh, sorry, I should do this. This bridge carries on, and George had his workshop built over here. And we asked them to build an attic above the we could use to store puzzles. And I was having to put in the floor, and that's when I discovered that back room that we could use. It's a 22 by 44 foot room. So here's the storage. These are all duplicate puzzles in here. So, you know,
looks more like a cave.
It is a cave, and we carpeted this floor too. But then it's fun. Little kids would love this. It's neat. Everybody comes up here and just wow. You can crawl through that spot. No, Louis, you wouldn't get through here. And we put flooring in another section of the attic, and you can see the pipes. But this area also is air conditioned. We've got the whole. We've just decided to air condition the entire house, and all of the attics are being, the piping is getting redone, and they're all being air conditioned. George is putting up these shelving units that he found, and that's to store his materials that he uses for making puzzles. It's difficult for me to come this way because they've swapped things around in here. So he's floored all of this. We've got more storage for puzzles over here. When they finish see that? Look at that. These pipes are gone, and this area will be floored and stored as well. Do you want me to go downstairs?
Yeah.
All right, so now I'm going to go downstairs. I'm taking the phone, and George is going to follow me. So this ladder was the only way to get into that attic until I busted open the door. And now I'm going to step outside. Here's my little VW. There's George's name. His car usually sits here. My roof is separated, so it's got to stay in the garage. George likes Tesla. So there we go. And I'm going to hand the phone over to him. You got a phone in your pocket?
Oh.
Sorry. And he's going to show you his main workshop. Hang on a second. Your hands over the camera.
Are you sufficient? Are we ran out of time yet? That's a problem.
You have to take mine. Go. You have to take mine.
Okay.
Keep going, George. Don't worry.
Okay. Well, you give the signal when you were. I had this floor done. I don't know if you can see this floor, but it's an epoxy floor, but it's to match the red and the silver. I have
the cars.
The cars. And I'm such a Tesla fan. I got their font, and I put up the signage myself. I have a little machine to do that. And then this is my workshop over here.
This is what I call the dirty workshop.
This is like my cabinetry, and then underneath, Tom Lynch taught me that he needs a lot of drawers, and so we bought a whole bunch of drawers here and labeled them all. So I was looking for some leather. Yeah, there's leather in there, but I needed leather string for something. Anyway, I don't have to. You know what all these machines are. I don't have to go through. Okay, this is one. This is called a pot, and I get material that's not pewter, but it has the same heaviness as pewter or silver, and it's got tin and antimony in it. Oh yeah, and there's one of the little pieces that I was trying to make that was missing in one of the puzzles. So this is cool. This is another cool little instrument here. Let's see, what is this? This is a hot knife. So I can cut nylon string. See here, I can just do a demonstration here. You film me.
You want to see a demo?
Here we go. Yeah, it's very quick.
It's got to figure out which cable it is. Yeah, it's that one.
This one here.
Yeah.
Okay. And so here's the string or the nylon, and yeah. Okay, you gotta get that.
Here, you gotta have this.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Press the button. It turns on. It gets hot, and I just cut it like that. And when you do cut it like that, it doesn't fuzz up. It cuts it very neat and clean, and it binds it together. It melts the plastic. So
can you bind two ends together?
Yes, you can. You gotta be quick. You put the two layers. Here, she'll demonstrate it once. I know. Let it heat up a second. Oh, don't have the trigger on.
Oh, it gets hot. I burn myself on the pot. I know better than to touch this one.
Go down.
Okay. And now.
Fold it over. Oh.
It stinks too, by the way.
She doesn't know how to do it.
I'm not fast enough.
Yeah. What you do, Louis, is there. It's done. She did it very clumsily.
It's a slop job, but.
Yeah. There we go.
I was thinking for buttonhole puzzles, I do a method with just candy, rubber gloves, and hold them together, but it doesn't do a very good job.
Well, this one is pretty good. You cut it and then you push the two together, and it works quite well. Okay. Anything else? This is for doing rounding corners. You just clip down. And what am I gonna do? Okay, we'll do a demonstration here. 1/4 inch. Oh yeah, it's 1/4 inch round. So it used to look like this square, but now it's rounded. And this is a drill sharpener for sharpening my drills. This is a buffer unit. This is a 6-inch vise. The vise is very important. And what I've done is I jammed up and jellied out my jet drill press, and I put in a little gizmo here which will light up an X with a laser beam right over the center. And I put in a X, Y, and then there's the Z axis.
You talk, I'll hold the phone.
This is one of my projects. I made a whole bunch of little W's.
This doesn't belong to the, it's the golf cart charger.
This is just a bandsaw.
Which we used to cut meat on.
Don't ever do
Don't
meat.
do it. It's an ugly mess.
This is my jigsaw. This is a belt sander, but a very tiny one. This is a bigger belt sander.
Sorry?
How big?
How big is it?
No, here.
It's, here, stand there. Okay. And it's got one on the side as well. Okay. I'd say it's about the belt is probably about 2 feet high, and the other one is probably about 6 or 7 inches.
Oh, turn around.
This is his newest toy.
This is a Model A MDX 540 milling machine. And Gary, I know you like the other milling machine.
Which is over in the corner.
Right there. This one has built-in a 4th axis that allows me to do rotational stuff.
Who makes it, George? Who makes it?
Roland.
No, Roland DG.
Oh no, Roland.
They sold their company. It's rather expensive, but it's extremely good. And I got a full case, so it can be done. It's sort of a noise barrier. This is I built this. It's a thermal vacuum forming machine that allows me to make, to melt plastic over particular shapes.
Mm-hmm.
And this is especially good for making clamshell packaging. Going on.
Here.
This is my latest laser cutter. It's smaller than the last one, and it's more powerful. And underneath there, you can see it's an exhaust to the outside. When I turn on the machine, it also turns on the exhaust fan.
So the two are connected to each other.
And this is my big table saw. This is my smaller table saw. This is yet a smaller table saw here. And this is my tiny, tiny, tiny chop saw. This is very good for toothpicks.
This is good for cutting open coconuts.
Okay, this is my die cutter, and this is a die pattern. And right there, you may be able to see this pattern is my kubigami design. And this allows me to cut out the kubigami out of plastic or cardboard and let you fold it into any
shapy things.
Any textures. Not attentive. Any of the 7 shapes. Oh, but here's even a smaller chop saw that uses a razor blade, and this is a cutter for cutting metal.
Everything in here is very dusty because of the construction that they're doing.
Yeah. And
there's his old Roland machine.
I'm trying to get it to work again, and we'll see how that goes. Okay.
So back in the house, and George is going to show you another workshop.
Okay, we're almost done, kids.
He's a lucky man. He's got 3.
Yeah. Well, this is the messiest room in the house. We're going to. This is a room where Oscar once slept in.
Upstairs with the golden shower.
No, we had him here once.
Lee Krasno.
Oh, Lee Krasno. Okay, this is the Lee Krasno room. Oh, yeah. This is a wall of, for example, here's Mysterians, and this is.
No, Mysterians wasn't made.
No, Mysterians wasn't. Here's one that I did, and these are ones that have prototypes of mine which have gone to mass marketing. So here's cast puzzles.
He's being funny, but okay. So everything on these shelves have somehow, George has prototyped them, and they've either gone to mass market or they've been expanded on and used as IPP exchanges over the years.
Most of them were invented by Oscar. I just did the prototype.
Yeah. So that's his prototype wall. Okay, there we go. Now he's showing you what should have been a bedroom.
Yeah, but I call this my printer room because I have printers in this room. This is the SLA printer. This is the FDM printer. This is just a regular old color printer. This is a very interesting machine. It's called Scan and Cut, and it's also made by Brother. And it allows me to do these. I can, for this particular puzzle, I cut out I actually printed on the other brother, the little character, and then I cut out the pentagon on this machine. So this will scan and cut. The scan part is you put the puzzle in, the paper in, and it comes up on the screen, and you can adjust the pentagon to go directly over the particular character. So this solves the registration problem when you're cutting stickers. So this is my sticker making machine, and they're working right behind this wall. This is the latest printer I've got, and I haven't actually used it yet, but this is a 2.5D printer. And what this will do is, let's say you had something other than a piece of paper. Let's say you had a Rubik's Cube. You can lower this table down about 6 inches, and you can print on one side, and then you turn over, print on the other side. And this machine is used mainly for, it can print like on golf balls because it's got a range when it rains down with the color. And it's an epoxy that's set by UV. And so it's called a UV printer. And when you put your puzzle in and print on it, it cures it instantly. So as soon as it's finished printing, you can pick it up. It doesn't have to dry anything. It's already set. These are just stacks of filament for my Ultimaker S5. And the only other thing of what? That's the print pad. This machine over here. That's the old way of making printing, because you push it over, you dip it in the ink, and then you pull it over, and then you press down on the. This is the silicone, which is very flexible. It picks up the ink from there, and then you have an object here, which when you pull it in the particular pattern that you have. Okay, so this is my thermo. This is the sealer. We can't use this anymore for packaging puzzles.
Terrible stuff.
Yeah. Okay, and this is my supply cabinet where I have my filaments. And here is Robert Reed's legacy. He sent me all of his puzzles before he passed, or his ideas. I'll take questions at this particular point. Okay.
So George, what 3D printers did you order for your farm?
Real cheap ones. The first 3D printer, the first 3D printer I bought cost me $35,000. The second one cost me $35,000. I've been buying these 3D printers. Okay, there's a story about the 3D printers. Oh, I want to answer your question first. And so it was a Kickstarter in China, and they're making them for about $200 a piece. and so I bought 10 of them because Lee Krasnow once had a print farm, 3D print farm. He had, I think, 6 printers going. But Roxanne's getting the name of this particular one that I ordered. The printers, the FDM printers, which is the ones that have the filament, and it's like a fancy glue gun, which builds it up layer by layer. They're coming down in price so dramatically, and they're getting better and better and better. There's a whole bunch of aspects to, you want the highest resolution, you want the quickest ones, you want automatic leveling, you want a heated pad, and so forth and so on. So do you have the name of that? Okay, let me get back to answer that question. Are there any other questions about 3D printing?
I think one of the boxes said Creality, so there might be Ender 3s or something like that. The printers. Oh,
okay. It's called 3D4. 3D Fort is the name. I wanted to get the Creality one too. It's not the Ender 3. It's the new one.
I'm giving him the computer, so it'll be easier for him.
Turn that off so we don't.
Allard.
Oh, I guess he turned it off.
Yeah.
Both George and
the tour.
I wonder if they've realized.
And I wanted to make 3 or 4 questions.
Yes,
okay, what are the
there we go.
questions?
Hi, George.
I'm like,
Hi, Roxanne.
not me.
Can I ask 4 questions?
Oh yeah, please.
Okay. So my first question is, who designed the whole house? I mean, okay.
This house, I can tell you that. This house, I can't tell you the name of the architect, but it was built as a spec house in 1985. It was finished in 1987. He put $1.8 million into it to build it, and it was during the period of the market collapse. He lost his business on this house. So the next owners bought it like we did, sight unseen, and they lived in it until 5 years ago when the lady passed away. Everything that you see here structurally was in the house. The only thing we've added is the shelving. So we the workshop and that extra room upstairs.
The attic.
And the attics. The attics weren't finished. We didn't renovate the house.
You actually adopt your puzzles and everything to the design of the house, which is that's very hard.
Yes and no. When we're looking for a house, when we got married 3 years ago, I asked, "Where do you want to live?" And she said, "Someplace that's warm." So, we moved to Florida, and we looked around, and so we knew we had a lot of puzzles. We were looking for a house that could handle the puzzles. So we went for a very large house.
Okay.
10,000.
Okay. So you actually had an idea. Okay.
We put shelves everywhere. Go ahead.
Okay. My second question is, the maintenance of the puzzles. Like, there are so many, and you say you categorize them. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, it's very hard to maintain it, isn't it? I mean, it's different to have one room to go and dust your puzzles or clean them or whatever. And it's different that you have the whole house full of puzzles. It must be very, very hard. My opinion.
Yes.
So how do you get with it?
I can answer that because George doesn't do it. I do. Most of the time, it's very easy because we've got a UV system installed in the house. the same thing that hospitals have installed. So we have very, very little dust in here. But right now, because we built that, because they've got so many workmen, that's why it's very dusty. Yesterday, it took me 3 hours to clean the shelves in the wood room because of the amount of the upstairs metal room, which doesn't have many shelves in it because of the dust from the construction. So once this is done, I have to go through and do a complete clean. It'll take me probably 2-3 weeks to get it done. But normally that UV system gets rid of all of the dust in the house. It's very, very limited.
Because there must be a lot of personal, effort to do, to maintain the whole thing.
It's Mondays. Mondays is cleaning day. But no.
Okay.
The blow dryer. Blow dryer works fantastic. You blow dry across the top of the puzzles, and what dust is there goes back into the room, and the vacuum system sucks it out. Yeah.
Yes, the air is circulated.
It's okay.
The air is circulated over a unit that ionizes the air, and the ionization, when it gets in the room, will cause the dust to collect together. And this dust is caught by our filters, which we change.
Okay. Okay. Is there any room with no puzzles in the house?
Hello.
Yeah, we've lost you.
Okay, go ahead.
I can't see you, but I can hear you.
I think we've lost George and Rox again.
I think they were just so shocked.
Are you there? I had to switch networks. We have 6 Wi-Fi networks in the house. So I had to switch to the room we're in. Are we good?
Okay, so my question is there any room that there are no puzzles in the house?
The bathrooms.
No, the bathroom you showed us that all the bathrooms, because the one bathroom you showed us, there is a jigsaw on the
we have 7
flask.
bathrooms in the house.
Yeah,
Oh,
there are
okay.
6 bathrooms. that don't have puzzles.
All right, okay, just because of the humidity probably, because otherwise the whole house is full.
Yes.
We wanted it that way.
What are the builders doing?
It's very interesting to be a puzzle freak and marry a puzzle freak. It's dangerous territory.
We don't recommend.
What are the builders doing?
They're putting. I went into the attic and I didn't like that there was no floor to walk around the main attic up here. You have to walk on the struts, so I'm having to put flooring on the attic.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're just, the attic needs flooring. I don't want to be walking on struts when I have to go up there.
I have a very important question, and maybe even somewhat terrifying question. You've put shelves in the IPP collection room, and I saw only a few meters left for IPPs. So what is your prediction of the last IPP?
We've actually worked this out yesterday. We've got another 200 and we've got another about 60 more years of IPPs.
60?
Yeah.
Not in that room.
No.
Like that.
We're gonna have to expand into other rooms, and
there's still more attic that I haven't shelved.
Oh, okay. Now I'm that's good. Very good.
In Arvin. Come on, Ken. All right.
Are you thinking of moving again?
I have something to say. Try this. If you're near a computer, go to Google Earth and type in, in the location, type in the 2 words Puzzle Palace. And it will direct you right to our address here.
Oh, cool.
That's great. That's great. George, do you have an accountability of your puzzles in the Puzzles Palace?
Yes, we do. They're right now in a spreadsheet, and that's why we know that we have 10,393 update, 10,488 puzzle, 38 puzzles. So
okay, 10,488. Okay.
That does not include duplicates. That's all unique.
And I also haven't gone and cataloged.
Yes, of course, unique. Yes. The doubles doesn't count, and also your street puzzles that are accountable too.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. We every puzzle is important. You pick up a puzzle, and you can find something of interest in that puzzle. You know, maybe the person that designed it didn't even realize the mathematics that's included. And so
yeah, there's always a story behind it, of course,
But going through our whole collection, reorganizing just before this last week, we have come up with a new category, and that is the worst puzzle ever made. And there are some bad puzzles out there.
There are.
That's good that you can categorize those too. Yeah.
Yes, and so,
that's interesting.
Yes, you don't want to be in that collection, but any IPPer would know that this is a terrible puzzle. Yes.
Okay, that's all my questions. I have to say that it was a very interesting tour, and there's a lot of effort in that, and I don't know how you can keep your psychology. You must love it to make it, to keep up with it. There's no other way. No other way.
Yes, of course. And we both love it, and we're both retired, and we're both confined to the house, and so we've been doing puzzles all the day, all the time. And
it's fun. This is what we wanted to do. You know, I mean, when I lived in Hong Kong, and I had that 4-foot bed with puzzles underneath it. I never had the time to play with them, and I always wanted to. And this is fantastic.
See, I bet every single one of you people there have puzzles in a box or wrapping that haven't been opened yet. And that's what we've done here is we've opened every single box, every single wrapping, and put them on a shelf. Now, we haven't played with them all yet, but we have a philosophy called display and play. Every puzzle we have is displayed. We don't have anything in drawers. And so that makes this particular museum unique.
That's a nice philosophy because you can go to my website, which I have since 2002, I think, and a puzzle to play or to display was my philosophy too.
Oh,
yeah.
Good.
But when you display a puzzle, you can always play with it. That's a very nice philosophy. If it's in a box, you can say you have it, but you don't have it.
Yeah.
I have to say, going to James Delgetty's place is what really influenced me to do this, because
of course James is
well,
he's the king,
the starter.
He's absolutely fantastic, but and his cataloging system or his storage system, the shelves and the drawers that pull in and out, is fantastic, and he knows where things are. And when George and I were looking for houses, I said, I don't want to have drawers like James has. So it was an influence in the other direction.
It was the catch with not having drawers is that you have to have a huge house. In terms of space, I mean, you can. Am I visible on?
Yes,
you are. I know, and that's absolutely.
Yes, we can see you.
That lot. I mean, we've got shelves there, and down below we have cupboards with meter-deep drawers. And the fact is, the shelf looks nicest when it's empty. I mean, if there was just one Berrical on each shelf, it would look fabulous. But as it is, all you can see is the stuff at the front. You have to climb up a ladder and rummage around to see what's behind it. Whereas the drawers, you open them up and you can immediately see a huge number of puzzles.
Well, James, You've been an inspiration to
That's
to
it.
us. It's
The sad thing is that the last 12 puzzle party exchanges are all in boxes, and I always said, if you're going to put puzzles in boxes, you should not be collecting them. Just because and I'm now offending my own rules, because the great thing, as was just said, you know, if it's in a box, you can't really get at it.
Our shelves are only 8 inches deep, and it was purposefully done that way so that
yeah, well, that's very good.
Puzzle on top of puzzle.
You do have to have a very big house.
Yeah.
I'm very impressed with your dusting system. When you've got a holiday, you come over here and dust mine for me. And mine are mostly in drawers or behind glass. It takes 3 people 3 days to dust my puzzle jugs, which are not behind glass.
So George and Roxanne.
We can see you, Alan.
So George and Roxanne, I'll tell you one inspiration that thank you very much for giving us this tour, but I am now very much inspired to get the damn puzzles out of the boxes, out of the back, and get them up front and center, and maybe even cataloging. By the way, speaking of cataloging, Roxanne, do you have a good system for that? I mean, what would you recommend, you know, or is it just spreadsheets?
Absolutely not. What I've got is a spreadsheet. That's what I've got.
Damn.
I've been trying to get this make a program for me, but you know, he's been having more fun playing with the puzzles than he has writing the program.
The real tragedy, I think, is that Excel does not enable you to link in a photograph to a cell, which will resize automatically with the cell size. If it did, all our cataloging problems would be solved.
Yeah.
As it is, I use a thing called Superbase, which is very, very good, but unfortunately it's so obscure and specialized that nobody wants to use it.
There's a wonderful, wonderful service called Cellar Tracker for tracking your wine cellar. And I've been just puzzling over how the hell can I convert that over to Puzzle Tracker? You know,
oh, just drink the wine
and think about it.
Drink the wine.
Too. I didn't show you that. Bernard Schweitzer gave me the name of an app that he used. This is many years ago when I was still living in Hong Kong, and I started out using it. I can't remember the name of it, but it's no longer there, and it was very easy. You just type in the puzzle, the amount you paid, you know, where you got it, whatever, in a photograph, and it did it very nicely. It was for the iPad, but it doesn't work anymore. It wasn't updated.
What we need, I think, is something called Puzzlepedia.
Well, they have. Neil working on one, right?
Yeah. But we all want to have our private catalog, and we also want to socialize with it and have a way of sharing the information, you know, in a way that doesn't violate privacy. So, you know, go play with Cellar Tracker and let's figure out if we can pay the guy to modify it.
Oh, well, sorry, I don't have a video. Boaz and I have been working up this idea, and have been planning this for, well, the puzzle party plans have made it a bit can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
And we've been thinking about this idea of having a kind of shared website, which people can catalog their puzzle collection, but it's also, as you say, it's shared in the level of information about the puzzle itself. And we've been working on it. It's not very advanced since we've had to work a lot of the IPP, but we're progressing, and I'm every time I hear people talk about it, I understand this is needed. So I hope we get more progress. Recently, it's been a bit working on something, just to throw it out there.
Yale, I'd like to make a comment on that. If you could have a video search, that would be very good. The Google has that, but
photo search.
Photo search, so that you can take a picture of a puzzle that you have and it could search your database to find puzzles.
Yeah, part of the idea is once the pictures are in and the initial database of pictures is cataloged, then you can train an AI to make a maybe decent job of identifying something and get it better over time.
That sounds really interesting, Gail.
So can I ask a question, George and Roxanne? When you're cataloging and you've thrown away the boxes, how do you know what puzzle is what? Like, do you put a sticker on each one, or is it just a photograph?
No, we've got photographs of the puzzles, each puzzle from 4 different angles. And we paid my daughter to go to work during this quarantine, and each puzzle has a number written on them. So, okay. You know, the wood puzzles are a W, the barracles are, I think they're MB, etc. And each one has a number. And the photographs, once she takes it with the photograph and the number, I write that down into my catalog.
Okay.
George and Roxanne, yes. Do you still have your movie room?
Oh, yes, we do. We have it. We bought a special machine in Hong Kong that will project directly up the wall instead of
from the ceiling down.
From the ceiling down. So it's at the foot of the wall, and it shoots it directly up. Works just fine. We can watch our movie not only from the theater couches and chairs, but also from our bed and also from our bathtub.
And the bathtub. Outdoor shower.
And we have you didn't see, we built an outdoor shower, and we were taking a shower the other night.
Watching the Republican convention.
And we could see we couldn't listen to it, but which was good. But we could watch it on TV.
Okay. Well, when this travel nonsense gets settled, I need to come down for a couple days or longer.
Oh, you absolutely, Gary.
We will say this year we were going to have Boca Bash attached to the Gathering for Gardner. It was the week before. Unfortunately, with the quarantine, it was canceled. If Gathering for Gardner goes through, we're doing it again this year. And, you know, you guys are all invited.
We have plenty of space that you could sleep on. When the beds run out, you're going to have to be on a couch or a lounge. And when that runs out, you're down to the floor.
And we've got air mattresses and cots and things that we purchased so that we did have space for people. And well, now they're all in storage.
It's a fascinating place. I can't wait to visit. You guys did a great job of this presentation, and really glad I got up early for it. So thanks again.
Quite welcome.
That feels like a really good place to draw this to a close. So
thank you, George and Roxanne, and also Steve and Allard for all the effort.
George, you got competition, because if I type in Puzzle Palace in Google Earth, there are 2 actually. There's yours and there's Puzzle Palace Australia.
Ooh.
Oh dear.
Oh, naming rights, surely.
Well, he got the website years ago, so.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. I typed out, I didn't get Australia. I guess it picks a place that's closest to where you are.
Which makes it equidistant for Rick, I guess.
Yeah.
New South Wales.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look that one up.
You know anything about that, Brian?
I didn't even know about it.
Oh.
Yeah, there are definitely.
It's New South Wales, not Queensland.
Oh, that doesn't count then.
You can't go to New South Wales at the moment.
No, they can't come here.
That's different.
There's a big difference.
It's one of those one-way walls.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, we didn't even get Trump to put it up.
We'd have paid for it.
Well, the Mexicans won out well.
I've been getting a real kick out of, you know, the main contractor. They'll come over and I'll say, hey, I've got another job for you. And yesterday, he's a Trump supporter. And when we were doing the bridge, I said, you know what? It's time we build a wall. Got to build a wall. Well, he didn't like that.
Yeah, well,
the Mexicans are saying the same thing, and they're saying, let the Americans pay. We'll get the Americans to pay.
yeah, well, we
Sad times.
put in a 40-foot wall so that we could put up, when we finish, we're going to do this jigsaw puzzle, the 42,000 piece jigsaw puzzle. But it turns out it's 21 feet long and 5.5 feet high. And so there's no place, even this is a big house, there's no place in the house, wall big enough for that. But in the attic, we're going to have it, we'll be able to glue it up to the wall. It takes
Well, if it's a nice picture, you can put it on the ground.
Yes, this is the way we saw it originally. It was on the floor of a store, and you walk down the hallway. But all of our floors are marble, and
we don't want to cover.
I don't want to cover them.
Maybe in a storage or a secondary place.
No,
not the primary place.
It's going to be in the attic.
Yeah, we're building the wall specifically to put that puzzle up.
Oh, okay.
How long do you think it'll take you to put together?
They estimate about 1.5 years to put the puzzle together.
So 24 days.
And are the pieces sorted in sort of chunks? Or are they...
That's a good question. Yes, they're sorted into 8 separate chunks.
That's cheating. Somebody should come round to your house and make.
Oh, no.
Yeah, no.
It'll get thrown in the garbage.
No, that's definitely cheating. It doesn't count.
Right. The next one of us that goes over has to mix the pieces up for George and Rox, okay?
That's right, yeah.
I would just pinch the last piece.
Otherwise, it's only an 8,000 piece puzzle, isn't it?
Right.
Yeah, they've definitely got to mix them up.
I have to hide the puzzles.
Yeah.
Right.
Before they come.
Yeah, well, you all are
Thank
invited.
you.
Whenever you want, you're all invited here.
Yeah, sadly, I probably won't be allowed to. But thank you very much, George and Rox, for a great talk. And thank you, Allard, for organising this. And thank everybody else for all their interesting comments.
You're very welcome, James. So thanks, George and Rox, for doing that. Really appreciate your time, and to Stephen as well for the earlier tour. A couple of reminders for you. On Nick's website, puzzles.baxterweb.com/MPP, there's the puzzle hunt to be completed. So far, we only have one successful completer of the first 3 chapters. Chapter 4 will go up soon after we close this down. And we're hoping that at least more than one person will have finished, or more than one team of people. This is probably best worked on together. We'll have completed it by the end of tonight. The folding.
I'm going to bed.
The folding puzzles as well, also worth a go. This evening at 6 o'clock our time, so I make that about 2.5 hours from now. We've got the puzzle quiz, basically a UK pub style quiz with lots of puzzle stuff thrown in, probably with a scavenger hunt in the middle of it as well. And the other thing that we're doing straight after this is we're also running the second round of our scavenger hunt. So Steve will put up either in the, well, probably not in the chat here, but on the MPP webpage, MPP Facebook page, a list of scavenger hunt items for you to find. A slightly longer list than the one that we played this morning, so we're expecting this one to take a bit longer. Idea is that you submit entries on the Facebook page as a photograph, numbers next to the puzzles that you selected. And between Steve and I, we'll score them at some point we close this evening. Sorry, Steve.
I said we'll score them entirely randomly. If anything is to be judged by Master. I have just posted the list up now.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Steve.
You take bribes again, Steve?
Oh, absolutely. But Steve, absolutely. And Nick will release the last chapter of the Chico Banan saga for the puzzle hunt. And with that, I'll see you guys at 6 o'clock for those of you that can make it, that haven't fallen asleep in between. Thanks for coming.
Oh,
and I'll add that
Thanks very much.
if anyone wants hints for the hunt, you can just send me a message on Facebook or email, and I'm happy to give little hints.
Take the hints, trust me.
okay.
Are you like hologramming into that room, Nick?
It was like a hologram, wasn't it?
It was.
It wasn't even there.
I know.
Okay, bye-bye all.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you all.
Thank you.
It was a very nice, interesting.
Thanks, Mike. It's good to see you.
Bye-bye from the top of the roof.
Cheers, Thomas.
Hi, Thomas.
See you, Thomas.
Fantastic, Thomas.
Bye. Good seeing you all. We will talk to you all soon.
Bye, Neil.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thanks for doing that, Steve and Nick.
That's all right. Thank you.
And yeah, we'll do random scoring as usual.
Yeah. It was extraordinarily scientific. I counted the number of objects in the picture, and then I added or subtracted 3 depending on whether I like the person or not.
And Steve, you gave me 17 points. Correct for the first competition.
And then adjusted it by a pound note value. The larger the PayPal donation sent to me, the better the score. I mean, it's easy peasy.
Yeah, but you gave me 8 points for the 8 points first, and then 9 points for creativity. So that makes 17.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah, good. Thank you. I'll send the payment later.
No.
Yeah.
Steve, did you post the scavenger hunt? I did. Yes, it's in. Hopefully, I posted it in the right place. It's in.
Yeah, it's there.
Puzzle Party. Yeah.
It's there. Yeah.
So, which website, which Facebook page is that?
Midlands Puzzle Party.
Midlands
Puzzle Party. Okay.
If you're not a member, just ask and we'll let you in.
What am I looking at?
Facebook, Nick. Facebook.
I know. I see A. I just see.
Refresh. B's there.
Facebook does that automatically.
B's there already. 3 minutes ago.
Depends how you're sorting. So to find A, I had to sort by new activity. Otherwise, it sorts by most popular.
Oh, there we go. If you find it, like it. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Do I really need to do number 26?
Yes. And Nick, that's only there because you mentioned it.
I'm going to make my own.
It
doesn't have to be
wasn't
original,
in there
right?
until you mentioned it.
Is this where I have to press print screen and quickly make myself a mask?
You might as well. You might as well. Yeah.
Oh gosh, 2.5 hours. Better get to it. I better get some coffee.
Good plan. Good plan.